Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack and Production. Today I'm Bancroft and being joined by Fluff and Jake today for this particular duel. Wow.
It's okay.
Hey everyone.
Where's your hellos, guys?
I'm Jake. Welcome to another exciting episode of Attack on Productions.
I was kind of waiting for you to pick yourself back up there.
Oh.
I didn't
It was a good spot. I said
I wanted to make sure you were okay there.
Give your guys' space about clarifying. There's your window of opportunity to talk. Gosh. All right. So today's duel is actually my AOD deck versus 21. Now, like I mentioned in my duel against Jimmy when he was playing against Baby Vegeta, which we will have a profile for that next week. We didn't get a chance to record it this past weekend when I played against him, but this is the same deck I used against him in that deck. And keep in mind, we're 1-1 in that duel, so we got to play it again. So all I'm doing here right now, just clarify it. I was going to count my life out, but because the new thing I do for our duels, which you'll see in a second, I want to wait for Jake to get his life race. We both put them down at the same time. I like life being evenly placed, so that's just my thing. But thanks for joining us today. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you enjoy our content, and like always, hit the bell as well, because if you enjoy our content, you want to see more of it, right? Hopefully. So
I do.
So this duel is between me and Jake, so we're gonna be kind of go over it. Fluff is joining us today in case anything we miss or don't get. He's kind of like the third eye in this.
I'm the crow today. I'm gonna sit up in the rafters
and watch over.
Just watch.
I can't think of any analogy to say. Like I'm blanking a lot of stuff today so far.
Are you gonna watch, or are you gonna pick the corpses clean?
If there are corpses.
So,
well,
Jake, you do a standard turn 1. You charge a multicolored card because you want that for the 21 leader, and I do my standard. I get my Bobbity on the board using Hatchiyak.
Yep.
Can we get like a big like the 1960s Batman TV show? Anytime someone turn 1 multi-charge pass, can we get like the big Batman pow that comes up on the screen? Like every time that happens.
Wham! Whop!
Right.
I can't guarantee if that will be in this duel, but I'll work on something for future projects. Oh, sorry, I'll talk to our editor.
Because it's a pro play.
Yeah, it's only refined gentlemen and scholarly ladies do the charge pass.
So I'm taking life this time, because I feel like you're gonna be a little more defensive. So I want to get the awakening as soon as possible. Also, I know if I can awaken faster on you, I can get more cards out on the field.
That's a fair assessment. There are a couple surprises in my 21 deck where I can burst some triple strike or similar effects out of nowhere, but typically, you want to pick up your own life against a control deck as much as you can.
Yes.
I think a lot of people learned that lesson during the days of green-yellow when they had 4 of their life crit out from underneath them with the Super 17.
So, kind of go into I'm going to say, if you're not familiar with 21 as a deck, I do have my profile up right now. The difference between mine and Jake's, I think mine's a more defensive build, where yours is a more aggressive build.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Mine has different tools for some of the problems 21 runs into. Whereas your list wants to extend the game, mine is like, do I die next turn? Maybe I just win right now.
I've seen you play this 21 deck, I think 3 times now. Do you not use the 16, 2-drop 16 that plays energy?
I only own 1 copy, so I hardly ever see it.
We have extras.
Oh, can I borrow some of those?
I'm okay with it.
Oh, all right, sweet.
Fluff's giving us a thumbs up on that as well, so. Because those go well with that 1-drop negate for 21 as well.
Oh, this list would be entirely different if I own those.
Oh, fair enough.
It'd probably just be your list.
Oh, well, check that out in the link below, guys. Also, my AOD is profiled on our channel as well, so if you're interested in checking that out, that's in the link below as well. All right, so I have Bob in the board, so I'm going to go ahead and get my super combo on the field instead of wasting the gate and getting out there. So now it makes counterplays harder for you. Since you're playing a blue deck and you have a blue unison, I feel like that's appropriate.
And because of that, I feel like it's worth it here to Trunks the Slug.
Yeah, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I have another one in my deck, so if I negate later, I can just bring it out to the field.
And as far as energy economy goes, I spent a 5 energy card to deal with your 2 energy card you played for 1 energy. Although I didn't spend energy to do it.
But it would have beat you in the butt later had you.
Yeah.
If that card stayed, it would definitely have been a problem for you, I felt like.
Yeah. It essentially cripples the defensive portion of this deck. I can play no more Trunkses. The negates and pretty much anything becomes clunkier with that slug around.
Now, I remember when I can't remember if Fluff remembers or not, but when I first profiled this deck, I was like, oh, I hate Awakening on turn 2. I've done that more now than I've ever have, Awakening on turn 2. And I think it's because all my decks I play, if it isn't a pure aggro deck, I play as defensive as possible. And so I don't worry about my unison until turn 4, typically. And typically when I play my unison, it's when I have a sense of being in my hand to resend more energy afterwards.
I think there are pros and cons to both, right? Like, holding the turn gives you another search on the leader. Pros and cons. I think that it should be match dependent, and very well could be match dependent.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I think I have played the 3-drop unison before on turn 3. I think it was actually against Jimmy's first round against Baby Vegeta, which we didn't record unfortunately. But I aggroed the entire board on against him to the point where he's like, "That's game. I can't. You killed my battle card. I can't get to my win con now."
Yeah,
you sunk that battleship.
You sunk my battleship.
So speaking of stopping from furthering plays, played the Bojack, tapped your card, and just swung straight into your super combo, so you can't benefit from that anymore. I'm not really worried about your unison right now because it's not at 5, and I don't think I have a big enough field for you to worry about yet to pop it this early on.
No, I was so glad that you swung on that super combo because I have another one to replace it.
Do you?
Well, I had another one in my hand.
Because I think I'm about to play the 13 on you.
Yep. Counterplay. And this is what I mean. Like, when you know your opponent has counterplays, sometimes you have to jam out the 1-drops and hope that your opponent spends resources on them.
Yeah. And you should be discarding a card. There it is. And I remember you doing that. I'm like, he must have something to get rid of a Dimension Magic against me.
Yeah, if your opponent discards Dimension Magic, chances are one of the cards in their hand is indeed Dimension Magic.
Okay, so I don't remember if I brought this up in our duel or not. I just can't remember. Why didn't you swing first of your leader to get the draw? Okay, just wanted to make sure.
I feel like every time that I see AOD in action, I always undervalue how good that Android 13 is. Like,
it's phenomenal.
It seems like every time I see this deck play, that Android 13 just puts in work and work and work. And I think it's a 3 or less, but there are so many critical cards in the game that are 3 or less.
Yeah, especially right now where people are spending a lot of energy, like 4 and 5 energy on unisons or game-ending battle cards.
Yeah, it hits so much right now.
So you got a nice blocker. You got 2 cards to attack with.
Just trying to clear some battle cards here. Yeah,
super combo, get the draw off it. Pretty much once I get down to 4 life with AOD, that's when I just start like, all right, just time to be defensive.
And honestly, you're in a pretty good spot here.
Counting my drop real quick, which for those of you who aren't familiar with my deck, max power Kamehameha. So
Yeah, if you don't have other Overrealm game plans, it's a solid extra card.
Yeah, it is.
Pass it back to you. I'm feeling pretty decent, better than I felt in on this turn in my last game. Although this Sensu Bean needs to go to the drop area. I think you remind me.
Yeah. Because you resend your energy, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't catch what I drew, but I think did I draw 2 cards, or no? I bottom decked 2 cards. That's right. It was it was my double strike card and my 9-drop Goku.
Ooh.
Yeah, I bottom decked both my
Ooh.
9-drop Gokus in this duel against Jake. No, only bottom deck 1.
Yeah.
But I think AOD doesn't have to have that to win. Like
No.
that's what makes AOD so dangerous. Is that it can play some of those like killer cards, but just the base AOD engine itself is really zergy.
Yeah. So
And
my strategy.
I was just gonna say the new counterplay rulings really benefit AOD for cards like Crusher Ball and stuff as well.
Yes. Just one point. I'm going towards Unison only because I'm starting to build a board now, and I don't want you to get that 5 out. So I'm like, okay, cool. Knock it below 5, and then B5 that. Play the Broly to get rid of your blocker. And I don't remember if I go into your 3-drop or who I go into with this one, or do I not swing?
You still got part of Broly's effect to resolve.
Get to pull 1 card in my hand. So it's the Senzu Bean, 9-drop Goku, or I can't see what the other card is. I accidentally shuffled. So I remember when this happened, and like halfway through, I'm like, right there it is. I'm like, crap. Was not supposed to do that. I'm like, oh man.
And I was like, it's fine. Let's just keep playing.
I'm like, I'm gonna get him on my deck because I'm supposed to go to my drop. So I pulled a Goku, and it was a Goku and Turtles. Okay. And truth be told, this misplay definitely changes the outcome of the game. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because I did bottom deck a Goku early on.
Yeah. Although we'll never really know what the ordering of your deck was. So I feel like on the other end of the table, I feel like that was fair randomization. Although I was fine with you just putting the cards back in your deck. See, there's the other D magic.
Yeah, I think I do have if I'm correct, a Garlic Jr. in my hand currently. So I would be going to my deck eventually, anyways. But it's still my next draw, unless I negate on this turn. My next draw definitely could have been different. You know, I can't remember if I negate during this turn or not. I do have the max power Kamehameha though, for sure.
Yeah.
So now you're at 4 energy. And right there, you called out. I think you said you should not have. That Gogeta card has never benefited you at all. I think you said.
Yeah.
And this is the one game it could have benefited you.
Yep. Because at this point, I have At All Costs and the 4-drop Goku in my hand, and would I have been able to fuse? I could have bottom decked 2 of your battle cards, swung into the last one with my 16, and then started pressuring your life with Double Strike and my leader.
Yep.
But unfortunately, he went to the energy because he's never come up until today.
And I took care of your super combos early on, so that the way you couldn't switch your energy out, and that's a great pull.
Yeah.
For a energy.
Yeah. A blue-green coming in active mode.
And now you're playing the
At All Costs.
Nothing I can do about that one, unfortunately. Yeah, okay, I see my hand. I do have 2 Garlic Juniors in there. So my deck gets shuffled regardless. So maybe it didn't change the outcome of the game then.
Probably not.
I mean, granted, they were shuffled beforehand, so.
So no counterplay. I elect to activate the effect after playing his auto.
It's like Schrodinger's Bobbity. Like the next card's a Bobbity, or it's not until you look at it. Like
Which is why I never really you need to play to your outs, but I try not to spend a lot of brain power during a game on, oh, if I only draw this card, oh, I need to draw this card, oh, I need to find this one. Instead, I prefer to, I mean, sometimes you have to play that way, but instead I prefer to react to stimuli. Like, these are the cards I have. What is the best line of play from here?
Yep.
So glad you did this activate main first.
Well, yeah. You kind of have to. I don't think it's got a battle timing on it.
Yeah.
Because I have a negate to stop the attack.
Yeah, and you remind me that it'll still negate it, so I like not to play the trump.
Yeah, because I feel like you should have. I mean, the card does say negate the attack, then play, but
yeah,
this allows me to get 2 cards on the field.
At this point, I know I'm screwed, right? Like,
I mean, I wouldn't say that.
Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 battle cards going to be coming at me, right?
Yeah, and I do have 2 more negates in my hand.
Yeah. 4 life. Went all in on the Vegeta plan, didn't work, and we forgot to resolve the KO an opponent's battle card here. So we're going ahead and doing that now.
Yeah.
It's part of the activate main.
And those are the 3 you would have been able to choose from because it does not ignore barrier.
And Garlic wasn't on the field yet. So.
And truth be told, that was probably the best option because it's the only one that had an activate main. I could have kept your leader tapped down and whatnot.
Yeah.
Pass turn, which allows you to play your blocker because energy went into your drop.
Yeah, and you can tell that I'm just mentally out of this game. Didn't swing with the leader. Could have -5'd. Or no, I couldn't have because I had to +2 earlier in the turn. But
I don't know if swinging the leader would have been best because you don't get anything off the leader swing.
Yeah.
And I just realized you haven't seen a bad omen yet. And I don't remember what I'm reading in your drop, but there was a card that I knew was in there. I'm like, let me look over it real quick.
Probably counting negates.
Possibly. So this sometimes doesn't happen on turn 4. I try my best to make it happen. I do have 1 of each energy on the in my energy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is foreshadowing. Oh, never mind. I thought it might have been a different game. I'm not 100% sure now.
Yeah.
So I play my Unison, which clears your board. If you counterplay, I think you have to discard 2 cards, I think, per slug.
Yeah, I can't counterplay a Unison anyway, right?
Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking. You're right. Yep. So I cleared your board, and I'm like, cool. I'm going to boost him up, give him to that nice, beautiful 25k double strike crit. You got 3 energy. I know you have a negate.
Well, I discarded a Dimension Magic and spent 1 to defend Zeno earlier. Yep. So maybe I don't.
And I don't think you do, actually. Yeah. So making it a nice 35k. That way, if you want to stop it, you have to get rid of a lot of cards in your hand. I have to step away real quick because of a rolling question I was asked. Why you get your combo. So, I was curious if you were cheating the entire time when I walked away. So now I know for sure you weren't.
Oh, well, if I was messing the cards, I was going to combo up with my life.
Yeah, just kind of rearranging a few things.
Well, I've done it before. I wouldn't put it past
me. So I do want to point out, just having sat and watched this, AOD, in my opinion, is the standard bearer for what an archetype should be. Everything serves a purpose. Everything is a solution. Everything furthers what the deck wants to do.
And I think that's why I love it so much.
Yeah. Everything works. Everything does what it's supposed to do. Because a lot of times you'll get like an archetype and there's like 2 or 3 pretty good cards in it, but then there's a whole bunch of like clunkers that just don't make sense as to why they're there. But AOD, everything makes sense. Everything furthers the plays. Everything helps tilt the scale in favor of the AOD player. I feel like AOD is the standard bearer for what archetypes need to be moving.
Yeah. Now, in case anyone's curious, the reason why I went so much into your unison was primarily because I couldn't guarantee what was in your life. You could have taken at least 2 hits and then potentially gotten 2 negates and just been able to stop everything I just done from that point on. And you had cards in your hand to pitch a combo with afterwards. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get rid of a card that I know is a problem. Now you can't ramp. You can't use any counterplays of it now. You have to pay 2 more energy just to play another one. Or I think you play the Janemba, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
It's in the list, but I don't think it ever hits the table in this game.
So, and that's why I chose to go for your using. It's just because, like, I didn't want to give you more cards in your hand that could potentially stop me from continuing my attacks. Because I think you play Sense of Being, you could have drawn to a Sense of Being, boom, use that, and now all my attacks have been useless against your leader. Oh, there's Janemba's unison.
No, it hits the table, but in the energy zone.
Yeah.
So, I'm pretty much limited in what I can do here. I have 3 cards in hand and 5 open energy. This is like one of the worst situations ever. When you have more energy than cards in your hand, you're in trouble, unless you're going for the game.
And you blow my field up.
Yeah, play the Zeno for -5. Not smart when your opponent has a double strike crit with infinitely repeatable boosted power on the other side of the table, but
it was at 1 marker, right? You could have swung into it with leader and tried to pop it. Or no, it's at 4.
It should be at, yeah, because it got played on turn 4, then +1, right? So it should be at 5 markers.
Oh, no, he played it with leaders 3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He reduced 1. So yeah, I don't think I could have. I don't think there's not a lot of double strike in the deck other than the Gogeta in my energy area. Not a lot I can do about Unison with 4 markers.
So, well, this is a misplay. And I'm just showing I have all the energy. I'm going to do this, and I'm like, hang on a second. Yep, I can't play this just yet because I don't have any reds in my drop. And the reason being is that one of the cards I remember looking at when I did, like I said early on, when I played the free extra card, I was
Max
like,
Power Kamehameha.
No, I played it's not my Warp Eater. When I played the free extra card, one of the cards I saw was a red, and it went to the bottom of my deck at that time. And I eventually shuffled it back up. So I'm like, I can't play yet. That's fine. I got plenty of energy. I can still free play cards and whatnot. For the next 30 seconds, Fluff, can you continue narrating what's happening here on my part? My dog wants to go outside again, so.
Yeah, no worries. So Bancroft swinging, putting on the pressure, leaves Jake at 1 life. He could choose to swing with leader, pay 5. My assumption is maybe he's going to pay another Unison here.
Yeah, he goes into another copy of the Unison.
Yeah,
and so
probably the smart thing to do. You've got what, 2 cards in your hand? There's no way you could possibly out counter this, short of a negate. But
yep, and that's the game.
Yeah. AOD is such a perfectly well-oiled machine. Like when you see Garlic working in tandem with Android 13, with the search from Turles, with the field control of Brawly, with the play set up by Hatchiak, with the field clear by the agent, like it's just a perfectly oiled deck. Like it just does so much. And I really hope they start to give us more, I don't want to say combo based decks moving forward, but more complete archetypes that are fully fleshed out like this.
Yeah. And truth be told, I think if I were to recommend one change to my AOD deck, it would be put Xenocell in it. But I just love Arcane Absorption so much that I just can't take it out. It's part of it, it's a thing. If I can't beat my opponent on turn 4 with the Unison, that's fine. Turn 5, I have Goku. If I can't do on turn 5 Goku, then I'll go into my Secret Rare on turn 6.
Honestly, I really am not a proprietary of this card, but the Shadow Dragon, being able to rip cards out of your opponent's hand with a full field,
yeah, that's true
probably really good in that deck too.
Does it require X amount of black cards though?
Nope, just cards
No.
in your drop area.
Yeah. I think he gets played for as low as 5.
That's the cheapest he can be played for. But be careful because his cost reduces in hand. So things like Royal Condemnation can hit him.
Can still hit
Yeah.
him, yeah.
So that covers our duel today. Thanks for tuning in. We do have one more video with my AOD versus Matt's Vegito deck, which was the finals for today's for this particular day's tournament. So look forward to that video. It should be coming up tomorrow. Jake, thank you for joining us today, like always.
Yep, it was great. You learn a lot from watching yourself get smacked around, you know?
Always.
But like always, thank you for checking our channel out, and thank you for enjoying our videos, hopefully. Fluff, you want to lead us out?
Of course, always my honor. Thanks again for watching. Make sure to reach cards, know your plays. Like always, Fluff out.
Goodbye, everyone.